welcome to our next edition of Book Banter. I'm Ann-Bernice.
And I'm Chloe.
And today we're talking about books that deserve more recognition.
Yeah, kind of underrated, don't get enough attention.
Yeah, the ones that you're like, you have to read this, friend, and they're like,
I've never heard of this book.
Never heard of it, yeah.
So, A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, who shares my last name, so clearly this must be a very good book. And this is a series about these girls at boarding school, and I want to say it's kind of a mix between historical and almost supernatural.
Yeah, it's set in like the Victorian times, and they find a way to travel to this other like world kind of thing, and
it's just
so good. Like, and the ending, like, you know, trilogies these days are really
I haven't read the last book.
Okay, just read the last book, but the ending is so good, and you'll probably cry. And it's a good series, and you should read them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next book is one I don't think you've read, but this is Graffiti Moon by Kath Crowley, and what this one is about, it's about I don't even know how to describe it. Okay, it takes place over 24 hours, which I love because it's just so like fast-paced, and it's a pretty short book. It's a really like quick read. It's just about this girl is on the kind of searching for a famous graffiti artist in her town, but he never leaves his name. No one knows who he is, so she's searching for him, but what she doesn't know is that the guy that she has enlisted to help her is the graffiti artist. So it's just from both of their points of view and over 24 hours, and I don't know, it's just like one of my absolute favorite books. I really like it.
Sweet. Yeah. So the next is another trilogy. It's called Wake. I bought the last book. I don't know why, but okay, the trilogy is called Wake, and it is supernatural. It's really good. Like, each book is really short, and just the way it's written is really powerful, I find, because basically this girl, she finds out that she can hop into your dreams kind of thing, and she's like makes your dreams better, but she can't control it, so
and she gets sucked into a lot of nightmares.
Yeah, a lot of nightmares too. And so like if you're sleeping, she walks by you, she's gonna fall asleep and drop into your dream, and just a lot of side effects to it, and she starts going like blind, and it's just and they
use her to fight crime.
They use her to fight crime and everything, and it is such a good and powerful and moving trilogy, and not enough people have read it. And if you like supernatural and just really powerful books, you should read Wake.
Which is the first book.
Which is the first book, not gone. It's the last one. Yes.
So I chose Wanderlove by Kristen Hubbard, which is about a girl who she just graduated high school, and she decides she wants to go on a trip for her summer before university, and so she signs up for these teen tours, but she accidentally gets put into a group with kind of a lot of elderly people on sort of like a retirement trip, and so she ends up with them in Guatemala, and she's kind of having a horrible time because like they're going to like all these sort of older senior events, and she's like 18. So she ends up meeting this group of travelers, and she kind of leaves her group and goes and travels with them, and it's basically just about her like sort of finding herself over the summer and like who she is. And I really like books with travel. I don't know, it's kind of a nice escape from like cold, boring Canada. Yeah, this one was really good.
My book is The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and no, I don't like Twilight. Like, the entire series is not the best, but The Host is actually really good, and it's really underrated, and a lot of people, I don't know, don't like it because it's almost written where not too much happens, but a lot happens. It's a really good like character novel, because basically in this world, these aliens come and they take over human bodies and make them hosts, but they just make the world a much better place. They're really gentle aliens. They call them souls. And this soul, who's been to like the most like planets ever, she's like, they call her Wanda because she's wandered the most, takes over this girl whose name is Melanie, but Melanie is still kind of alive in her head, and so she convinces her to go find her boyfriend and her brother, and it's just this really, really good like tragic love story about how you can be in love with two different people in the same body kind of thing, because there's two people inside of you, and it's just...
And it was made into a movie, right?
Yeah, the movie, I didn't watch it because I don't know how they could have made this book into a movie, but it's a really, really good book. I've reread it a lot of times, actually. I loved it.
This one is Audrey Wait by Robin Benway, and this is a hilarious book. It's about this girl who breaks up with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend is in kind of like a high school band, not really going anywhere, practicing in the garage. But as soon as she breaks up with him, he writes a song about her. Her name's Audrey. So he writes a song about her called Audrey Wait, and it becomes like a hit single, and they become famous off of this song about her. And basically she starts getting just followed by paparazzi people because she's the Audrey in the song, and it's just a good time. It's just so funny and so good. It's one of those books that you can just sit down and read in one sitting because it's just like, it is hilarious.
The Mediator series by Meg Cabot. It is underrated. I think everything by Meg Cabot is overrated. She wrote the Princess Diaries. Underrated, yeah. She wrote the Princess Diaries, and she just writes really good, like, teen books, I guess. And this one is about a mediator. So she sees ghosts, and she has to help them cross over to the other side. And it's a really, like, big series. And she moves to this old house with her mom, remarries a guy, and there's this cowboy ghost in her room. His name is Jesse. He is so sexy, and it's just such a good book, and it's funny, and it's like sad, and it's just tragic. It's just a good series, and I think it's underrated, and everyone should read them because they're quality. But like supernatural love stories that are good. Mediator series.
This cover is really cheesy and awful, and this is not the only cover for this, so please don't judge it by this, but it's called 10 Things We Did and Probably Shouldn't Have by Sarah Lanowski. It's about a girl who her parents decide to move, and she's in her senior year of high school, right in the middle, so she decides she doesn't want to move, she wants to finish high school at the school she's been at. So she convinces her parents to let her live with her friend and her friend's mom, but her friend's mom is kind of usually out of the picture, travels a lot, and so basically it ends up being this girl and her friend alone in the house for like 6 months of grade 12. And yeah, the whole book is a list of 10 things that they did and probably shouldn't have, and each chapter is like a different thing on the list, so it was really, really good. I really like her, and she's a Canadian author, so that is always a plus.
Yeah.
Also has Sarah Lanowski in it. This one is by 3 of my personal favorite authors, Lauren Miracle, Sarah Lanowski, and E. Lockhart, and it's called How to Be Bad. And it is told from the point of view of 3 different girls on a road trip, and each author writes from the point of view of one of the girls. And they're going on a road trip to find one of the girls, her boyfriend is at university, and they think that he might be cheating on her, so they decide to go on a road trip to find out. And it is just, the whole thing is just these 3 girls on a road trip in Florida, and like I don't even know, like they get into like there's alligators and there's baby chicks, and it's just really funny and really good. Yeah, this is like the book that got me into reading YA, so I feel like it needs more. Yeah.
Well, we don't have the copy here, but Beauty Queens by Libba Bray is a really, really good book. It's really funny, and it's really satirical, and they talk about a lot of good like girl props in it. So basically these beauty queens, their plane crash lands to this island.
They're on their way to
a pageant, and
they crash onto a desert island.
And
it's like 19 beauty queens stranded on a desert island, and then I don't know.
There's sexy pirates, and
and there's like this whole criminal
undermined plot,
and it's just so many things
in one
book,
and it's so funny. And they talk about lots of different topics that are really, really good for us. It's a really good, like, feminist book, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
Yeah.